Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, episode 100 of the MJ38 show. We're bringing it in, baby.
Boom, 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 boom.
Just starting to clap, bro. Come on.
Let's go.
I was going to do a slow clap, but fuck a slow clap.
Sorry.
We're going with a full clap.
It deserves a full clap.
Hit the full clap at the full clip.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's go.
We're running through it. It's fucking 100 episodes deep, bro. Let's go. We'll dab it up real quick. Fucking yes, everybody. Anyone who's seen anything more than one episode, if you're watching this episode for the first time, welcome in. We fucking love you guys. Hope you're having a great life. And if not, let's make it so right now.
Yeah.
All the bullshit, cut that off. I think about that watching games. I'm like, all right, you're a quarterback. You threw an interception. It's like, okay, you need to cut that shit. Like, it's gone. Like, you need to forget that ever happened. And like, now we're changing life. Like, now we're heading in this direction.
Yeah.
It's like, you can feel the momentum in the games. And it's like, oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. But then sometimes you can feel that starting to happen. And then someone could say, fuck that. And then answer back.
Yeah.
We're asking you to do that spiritually,
Yes.
emotionally, energetically,
Yes.
right now with us, 100 deep. If you've seen any of them, appreciate you guys. And more than, if you said how much, I think there's maybe Julian has seen the most.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Maybe Voss.
person seen the most hours.
Yeah.
I think
Most
they
episodes.
watch a lot of them.
50.
Yeah. A lot.
We're at 100, bro. That's a lot of hours.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of hours.
A lot of people haven't listened to 100 episodes of a podcast.
No, I don't think I have.
It's a small demographic.
Have I?
Yeah.
I've been listening to podcasts for a couple of years. I've listened to hundreds of episodes of podcasts. Maybe not one particular.
No, just like in general.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're in the rare percentage.
Yeah, some people don't listen to podcasts at all.
Yeah. But we did 100.
Dude, 100. Because of which we got some fucking bubbles, bro.
Hey.
We got little bubbles. So
Let's
we
talk
invite
about-
you as well. I'm not sure what time you're while watching this
Yeah.
or what the situation is calling for, but this is a moment where you celebrate things, because it's 100. Like,
Yeah.
That's a lot. 1 is a lot. And then
Yeah.
10, that's a good amount. And then it's like, whoa, shit, 100 is, you're doing this.
I think the
Okay, y'all, here we go, nice and easy.
Oh, yeah.
Ideally, you don't want to hear a crazy, crazy pop,
I like the pop.
I like the pop a little. Okay, that's okay.
That was real
It's a little
polite.
yeah, that was nice. It was cute. Ideally, you're trying to get like no sound. At least that's what we're kind of told at the price point level in which we do food service industry stuff.
Yeah.
It's like ideally you don't want to have it like, because then sometimes also to like start to, ugh,
Yeah.
the bottle just get out there on you, dog.
Half the people that I don't do any noise on, they're like, "Oh man, that's like half the reason I buy champagne. It's a pop champagne,
It's
motherfucker."
not for me. I want other people to hear that we're popping this shit.
Yeah, we are popping. You opened champagne. I wanted
Yeah.
to pop champagne.
Pop is an onomatopoeia, my friend.
Yeah.
I want to pop a bottle.
And to them, I say, "Who the fuck am I to not pop your bottle?"
Yeah, these are the rules. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Harry Potter.
The overarching rule is to make the guests have the experience they want to have.
Yeah.
And if they want to pop a bottle, literally onomatopoeia sound coming out that shit.
Yeah.
You can definitely make that happen, but I think you also run the risk of losing some of the alcohol whenever it comes out.
Very true. Very true.
But there is a way to pop it and get the noise. And then it usually, anytime I hear one, I'm like, whoa!
It's excited.
Like, I don't even think to respond like that. It's just like, that's what
It's-
plays in my head. And sometimes I just let it out, like
Yeah.
90% of the time.
Nice.
It's like, whoa!
Let's go.
Pop a bottle.
Yeah, I get an audible. Hey,
My friend.
thank you, my
Oh,
friend.
yeah. So I'm not sure what time you're watching this, but we invite you to have a glass of sparkling. Have a cold one with us. We're chilling. Or a hot one. Get some coffee, whatever. Get your drink. Get your beverage of choice.
Yeah. Pick up your glass and I propose a
pick it up.
toast to you, the viewer, to you, my co-host, to the next 100 episodes.
Let's go. Going
and
to
the
500, baby.
The next million views.
Let's go.
Toast.
Toast. Cheers. Absolutely.
Well, that's delicious.
There's some Proseccos.
Love a good grape.
Just some bubbles.
Like a bubbly grape.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
When we started, you remember we were talking to the people, we were like, the top 1% of podcasters, you enter the top 1% of podcasting after you make 20 episodes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then after you get to 100, you enter the 1% of the 1%. That was the
Okay.
stat, I'm pretty sure. So the 100 was always a number, not just because it's a number, but like we were trying to get to the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah, numbers are real. They represent something. You know, like the extra added digit. 100 is something.
Yeah.
1 to 10 and then 10 to 100. 100 to 1,000. Every increased multiple.
Yeah.
It's like, that's expansion. That's just, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it's pointing to exactly, but they're bigger than just numbers.
I remember the first time I ever got my bank account over $1,000. I still remember that day. I think
Nice.
I was $1 short, and you loaned me $1. I had
Okay, nice.
to my name. I had $999 because we were gonna go do something, and I was like, "Well, let me count my money first because if I have 1,000, I want to stop at the bank and put it in the bank so I can see 1,000 before we go do this shit because I'll feel real cool." And then I was at $999, and you were like, "Oh, dude, here's $1." No, let's go to the bank, and I was like, "Dude, let's go,
Let's go.
But it's like the difference between that $999 and that 1,000, the $1 you gave me.
Yeah, right. It's different. There's something there to that, and it's funny because as we were talking about 100, it's like it's a special number, and I guess at that point, that's where that statistic kind of like hits. It's like maybe that's a truth. Maybe that's just like what that number is, or like the idea of an expansion, or adding a comma, or adding an extra increased number multiplier by 10x something every time you 10x something, like a different level of elevation, and then it's like, because it's arbitrarily, well, I guess I don't know, I guess we've been doing, I was gonna say, we've done more than 100 episodes. We've recorded a couple, we've lost a couple to some technical errors and shit. I think we didn't even get the one that we recorded at the show, or the show at Pigs.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we didn't even get that episode. So we've done more than 100 in theory, but yeah, then I even expanded past that in my own mind of like, well, we've been podcasting since we've been knowing each other. All podcasting is just talking in the moment, talking about whatever the idea is, whatever the subject matter is.
Yeah.
And then sometimes our subject matter is just like the subject, like, it's, we're talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about podcasts about podcasts.
Yeah.
We're like breaking down the NFL. And it's just like that. But the 100, it means something. It's the 100 like fully, officially posted continual one.
It's real. I think there's a lot of arbitrariness around it, but we all kind of agree.
It's arbitrary.
Like,
yeah.
that's really a 100. It's like the scale says it.
I'm willing to say this truthfully, like fully. Like, this is real. This is true. Some people start their podcast at 100, or like, episode 100.
Episode 101, 102, 103.
Yeah, season 1 or whatever.
Get the fuck out of here. Well, I mean, you can
yeah, this is okay.
You can do that, but it's not. You have not done 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Just because you're on episode 103 doesn't make it 100 episodes. And you know that. They know that. I know what that's like.
Oh, shit.
Cheers, mate.
Bad dog. Cheers. Whoopa.
So, I was going to talk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're doing it. Wow. I'm tripping.
Huh? What's up?
Yeah. I got, just right around the corner.
Okay. Word. Appreciate it. We out here cheers on the mic. But 100 official episodes. And we're pushing beyond. We ain't stopping. I see you, Basement Yard. I see you, You Should Know. I see you. All the podcasts. Everybody out there doing it. There's so many people. And does it come down to a matter of just putting the money into the marketing and getting it out there continually, and then slowly building your fan base? Oh, hell yeah. Appreciate you.
I wanted to say let's talk about the number 100, but you're literally doing that. You're in my head. You're such a good co-host.
Yeah, what's up?
You were talking to just about 100 as an
idea.
Yeah, as an idea.
The number 100, or like the 999 to the 1,000.
My idea that was striking me about 100 is like try to, like, if you find, just look at your change and then try to make like $1 with pennies. That is fucking difficult. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, to find 100 pennies to make up $1, it can make you appreciate the grandiose nature of 100. It's a lot, There's not 100 episodes of your favorite TV show.
Very rarely.
Hardly any. Like
rarely.
Doctor Strange or
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Yeah,
it's like one of the only ones. The Office doesn't have 100 episodes.
It doesn't?
No.
How many? That'd be one of the ones I would guess. How many shows do you think have 100 episodes at least?
I would be willing to say that there's.
ChatGPT.
I think there's 7 seasons. I'll give them 8 seasons, and I don't think that they do 16 episodes per season.
They do a lot though. It's like, I don't know. I would guess that they would have 100. Maybe Friends.
Maybe the 100th episode of Friends.
Is that a thing?
How many iconic TV shows got to 100 episodes?
Or TV shows in general. Grey's Anatomy for sure. That's just got like 10 billion episodes.
But like Game of Thrones was 10 episodes per season, or am I tripping?
Yeah, it was 10. So it was only like 75, 80.
There was 8 seasons.
I think they did 8. I think they did 8.
So yeah, there's probably like 75, 80 episodes.
Yeah. How many TV shows?
It's just a lot. There's not 100 songs in a lot of catalogs out there. Drake's probably over 100 songs published now.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes, 10 albums. 10.
Yeah. It's just
They have 100 hits. There are many TV shows, sitcoms, long-running shows that have hit 100 episodes. Let's go, yeah. They didn't even tell me what they were or how many there are. What are you talking about, ChatGPT?
all my fantasy football players know how hard it is to get 100 rushing yards. Am I right?
Bro, fucking righteous. What are we talking about?
It's hard to do for some guys.
100 yards. Which ones are they? What the hell? Okay, this is bringing me to the, oh my God. To the Andy Griffith Show. That has 100 over 100. 249 episodes. The Bold and the Beautiful. Like soap operas.
It's funny though, 100 rushing yards. Yeah, like Days of Our Lives has a ton. Sure.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? And these are
But for
The Simpsons, Golden Girls, Seinfeld, Friends, 24, That's So Raven, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Supernatural, Full House, Criminal Minds, Lost. Lost at 100 episodes? No. What the fuck is this? What list is this? TV shows with more than 100 episodes? What? Lost at 100 episodes? Fuck, dude.
I'm just at ChatGPT.
This is where it took me. I don't know. I was trying to find this shit, man. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy, Vampire Diaries, Gospel Girl.
You get it though. You get the point. You get the point.
Dude, yeah.
Go do 100 reps of bench.
Dude, these are popular shows. You know what I'm saying?
What?
You usually don't get to do 100 episodes of something.
No, it's just like hard.
It has to be, yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to maintain that.
Yeah, it's like 8 years of a TV show.
Yeah, Fresh Prince, Walking Dead, Modern Family.
Modern Family could have done it.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec did 100, huh? 10.
That's what they're saying.
Some of them, I guess, maybe have 20 episodes.
Yeah,
in a
some
season.
seasons have 20 plus,
Right.
23, 26 episodes.
Okay.
So once you do 3 or 4, I guess, yeah, once you do 4, you're
good.
right there.
You're cooking.
You're cooking. You just got to get 4 seasons of a good show that's willing and able to support and pay for 25 episodes in a season, 20 episodes in a season. That's a lot. Feels like a lot. I don't know. I could be totally tripping. But 100, it took us a couple years. It took a while.
Like, dude, I was gonna like Seinfeld. What do you think? How many episodes do you think they have of Seinfeld?
I couldn't tell you if I had. Okay, I know at least 100. So I was saying.
You saw it on the list.
Yeah. 100. I'm not sure how many, but at least 7 seasons probably. Roughly.
180.
Damn,
That's a lot.
they almost hit 2 bills.
Yeah, well, they're putting up points.
Dude, yeah, those 2 podcasts I was shouting out. I guess no more so the. I know Chris Williamson's hit a lot of. He's like 500 plus. Joe Rogan, of course, is at fucking thousands, and Basement Yards at 500 plus, and the You Should Know is at like 100 and something, 150, 160 plus, somewhere in that ballpark. But getting to 100, that's some shit, man.
Let's go.
Legit, fucking out here. So whatever y'all are doing, man, just keep fucking going.
Yeah, we took the first 10 minutes of the pod talking about it. So
Just 100, dog.
cheers it again. Cheers it again,
Cheers,
bro.
dog.
Congrats.
Yes,
Let's go. It's a big day.
it's a real
Podcast
moment.
history.
It's a real thing. Yes. Let's go.
I hope that pumpkin
Let's go.
spice latte is hitting right now. as
Whatever
we
drink you got,
drive down I-35.
we're chilling. It's a good life.
Great life.
Yeah, dog.
I've been having a great life.
Yeah, you're talking about before the pod. I wanted to start talking about conference.
I've been having a great life.
Let's go.
It's like just been having some awesome days. It's been
Yeah.
trippy.
Yeah.
I had such a good time at Schlitterbahn on my birthday.
Yeah.
I had such
Amazing.
a good time at UT for the football
Amazing.
game.
Amazing.
I had such a good time at men's conference
Amazing.
or men's retreat.
Amazing.
It kind of blew me away. I've just been like having like the best days lately.
Yeah, those are some hitters.
Yeah, dude.
Those are some hitters.
The album that my life dropped this last month? Bangers, dude.
Yeah, then my feature, my birthday running a little 10K, start the day.
Yeah, dude. And that really revitalized this cardio spirit inside of me too. I'll be like, I've been running and stuff, you know.
It feels good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little 4, 5, 6 miles.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
And man, just been awesome, man.
Yeah, awesome shit. The conference was awesome.
It was so cool. There was legit a moment where we're looking at chicken and waffles, and there's like a basketball tournament, and I'm on like 2 teams somehow, and I'm just like, and then they're playing like Forrest Frank aggressive over
Just playing Christian hip hop at 10.
Yeah.
Or at least at 8.5.
8.5 for sure, dude. Had it bumping out there, just like 10. It's like the Fiend remake, but the Christian remake. Christ.
Whatever it is, dog.
Whatever it is.
Arbitrary. It was perfect filler.
I was just, for real, I was legitimately like, this is what heaven is like in my mind.
Yeah, you said that to me. You were like, dude, this is like pretty much like a perfect day in heaven for me.
This is it.
Yeah.
Like, more people that I love hanging out would have like further filled the heaven aspect out. But just as far as like just hanging out with you, chicken and waffles.
3-on-3 tournament. Joined your team out of nowhere. I wasn't planning on playing.
That was
at all.
awesome. That team ended up winning the whole thing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And we
dude.
almost beat them.
Yeah, we had a chance. We were one shot away.
Dude, you had a block where you just like swallowed the guy up. Pause.
I destroyed him.
But you just 2 hands.
Swallowed the guy up. Engulfed.
Dude, yeah.
I should have just kept the ball. I should have grabbed the ball. But yeah, he ended up scoring on it. And that was one of the turning points.
It happens.
That was it towards the end. And then we had a chance, 11 seconds left.
Dude.
We'll give and go.
Open
I cut
3-pointer.
open. I give it to him. I move and hit the screen. He jumps and shoots the 3. As time expires,
Just doesn't go in.
it doesn't go in. That was it, though. If we hit that, we win.
We win for sure.
Literally, like that's it.
It was a golden
That's
moment.
all you. That's all you can ask for. Is a great game like that. you
Yeah,
know?
true.
Just a great exhibition, dramatization of the evil versus good narrative, or like the victor versus the person who loses, or you know what I'm saying, the opponents who are. I guess it's just more the story of how it plays out.
Yeah.
You know, because you could just see the scores at the end. We know what happened here. You know, and I went to the Green Bay and the Dallas game. It literally ended in a tie. It's like but like to watch it all. It's like the emotional roller coaster of like the back and forth, the momentum we were talking about. It's like I don't know, just like trying to take the energy. It's weird because it's out there. I felt it. It was so palpable, and I was like, they can't hear me, but they can hear us. And I can influence us like a lot. And we had a lot. It was a good split. There's a lot of Packers fans there.
Nice.
It was probably like 35 to 45% Packers fans.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty hard.
That's a cool place to go if you're a Packers fan.
The stadium was lit too.
Really?
Yeah, it was like I was talking to Nicholas and my mom about it. I was like, dude, it's like we went to Lambeau for my mom's birthday last year, and Lambeau is awesome. It's a classic stadium, been around forever. It's like an American muscle car. It's like a 1969 Mustang, dog.
Yeah,
a 67 Mustang, 67 Corvette.
It's a great comp.
Just like, whoa, that's just what it is. And then you go to the Dallas Stadium, and it's like a fucking Tesla Lamborghini. Like, whoa, this is bougie as bitch. Look at this, dog. I'm sure it's the same thing in like Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta and the one in Vegas.
Right.
The newer stadiums are definitely like.
What kind of stuff did they have that was like kind of mind blowing?
The jumbotrons were fucking insane.
Really?
Fucking insane, dude.
I've heard this before.
700 feet wide, or like I couldn't tell you. It was so big. It was ridiculous.
So you're talking about the thing that's in the middle of the sky, above like the thing the punters accidentally hit sometimes.
Yeah,
because that thing is so big that it still blows your mind when you remember it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is so crazy about it? When you look at it, it's just like you could see what's going on the field.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like the television broadcast, more or less, without any of the extracurriculars on the display on the HUD.
Right.
Just like the camera footage.
Right.
And then you can like it was kind of steep. We were up in the top, but it's like you can still see everything. And it's so cool. So it was fucking awesome. But yeah, it was just watching the game on the TV more or less.
That's hard.
And it was like, because the stadium's like a track, you know, it's like a track with like the straightaways and then like the curves.
Right.
And like the straightaways it's like a rectangle, but you know, or an oval. And the straight portions of the jumbotron are like pretty much as wide as like the stadium is wide, or it's pretty fucking close, man. Like
That's
like the
crazy.
seating arrangement, it's wild. And they have 2 on this side, and then on the smaller sides where the curves are on the oval, it's like they're still big ass screens, but they're smaller and not as rectangular, or the rectangular more vertically a little bit, and ours are like super wide screen. And it was awesome experience.
Yeah.
But just watching the game,
Yeah.
being a spectator, there is the momentum. You can like, I don't know, I feel like you can contribute to it as someone who's, I'm not on the team, you know, but that's what your fanhood is like giving your emotional like attachment to like this thing of like, I will be upset if you lose.
Right.
There's a lot of teams that lost today and I didn't give a shit, but like they tied, which is better than a loss. But like, I'd rather just keep on going, bro. What are we talking about? Double overtime. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a chance at the win. You know,
Like nobody wants the tie.
No one wants the tie.
We'll gamble the loss.
Yeah.
Let us keep playing.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think the only reason they don't is because it's hard to broadcast it if they go on forever. In college,
yeah, you're right.
They do that shit no problem. In college, don't give a fuck. Sometimes they're playing till like 2 a.m.
That's all they're doing, just playing.
Yeah, they're on like 7 OT. Just dope.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to. That's the one thing about going to an NFL game is that the outcome of the game, you can't pay to go to a good game. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't know.
The game quality is up in the air.
Yeah, we went to I was talking about it on the way back, and I was like, man, this is like, it's kind of what you wanted, you know, to a degree, or at least, but if we can keep going. If it was playoffs, you know, they would keep going.
Right.
That'd be fucking litty.
Perfect game.
That would be awesome. Going to a playoff game.
Headed into like double overtime right there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yo.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, they hit a 4th and 7 on that drive, and that was electric. You know what I'm saying? That was the game. If they lost that down, it was over in overtime.
7 yards for the rest.
They're about
of the
to
night.
lose. Yeah, 4th and 7. This is the last play of the game. Everyone in the stadium standing up.
Yo.
And I get to be the person who's cheering. You know what I'm saying? Let's go! Yeah.
Nice. That's fire. That's
Yeah.
fire.
I got to do that because I'm so invested in the loss, you know, because I'm emotionally attached to the loss. I can feel that. I can get there with it.
Right.
If I'm not, I don't give a fuck if something like, I want to watch a good game as a person who watches games. The guy next to me initially was I was like, hey man, like he was wearing just like a gray sweatshirt. The guy to the right of me, Packers fan, his girl or wife, Packers fan. And then this Tennessee guy, and then he's like probably in his 60s, and then 2 gentlemen he's with, probably in their like 20s or 30s. And then I'm sitting chilling, we're talking. He's like, the guy next to me, he's like, I'm glad I'm sitting next to a Packers fan. I'm like, yeah, bro, let's fucking get this dub. Let's go. And then, oh boy, I'm like, who are you going for, man? Like, what do you do? What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm from Tennessee. I'm just like, I was at the Tennessee game yesterday. I'm just coming here to watch some football.
Tennessee.
I was like, the
SMU?
UT.
Oh, Tennessee.
Or sorry, yeah, University of Tennessee.
Who'd they
College
play?
football.
Do you know who they played?
I have no idea.
Oh, I heard. No,
Yeah.
it's okay. Someone knows.
I'm sorry.
Fuck it, it's okay.
But I was like, who do you want to win? And like, even from his perspective, I want to see a good game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So,
That's me with Monday Night Football every week. You know what I'm saying?
Just watch a good game. Watch a good narrative.
Yeah.
And yeah, super cool experience. Jumbotrons are fucking crazy. And I felt like I was like, my emotional attachment allowed me to be super invested in the game.
That's nice.
And it happened again. I mentioned it on the last episode, I'm pretty sure, where I was watching the game at the IHOP Applebee's combination that's coming about now. Enjoying our time. We're up 10-0 on the Browns. And then I stopped watching, then we fucking lose. I was like, okay, that's unfortunate.
I wondered if I watched the Colts, if Adonai keeps that ball.
It's that crazy, guys. It gets that deep. It gets that fucking deep. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like, we're watching. We're up. They score 2 touchdowns, and then they get the extra point blocked, and they take it back. So instead of 14-0, it's 13-2. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Okay, that's what's up. It's fine. And then the 2-minute warning comes about near the second half, and I'm gonna go get some, like, my second half haul here. I need to go piss. I need to get some food. Some nachos, some stuff. Get some drinks, get some waters. I'm stocking up.
You went
We're
out
hunkering down
into the masses, right? At halftime, a bunch of people get up and go out there,
Yeah,
right? Were the lines bad?
Not terrible, but they got terrible.
Okay.
Because the more busy they got, like the slower the service got.
Wow.
So it was less. And I was like already 2 minutes ahead of the halftime crowd. And I was
You
still
left
waiting for
early?
a minute. Yeah.
It's genius.
And I was like, I'm gonna go hunker down, get ready for this shit, dog. I'm gonna come back and watch the rest of the second half. Here we go. And then as soon as I leave, it's like they go. Jordan Love gets strip sacked. Dallas gets the ball back and they score after they've already scored. And I was just like, wait, what the fuck's going on? Just it was wild. I just felt the same thing.
Yeah, if I would have been here, that wouldn't have
Who
fucking
knows?
happened.
Who knows?
If I would have given
how
pouring
deep we
my
go.
love
Yeah.
into their tank,
We can.
the role would have been a
life.
different RNG.
Yeah. At what rates? How close is it to that?
I don't know.
At the smallest, and then I think also it hits on cyclical like days. There's like a day happens, and then like a week happens, and when that week happens, sometimes it's like boom, another big thing happens, and then that happens within a couple weeks or a fortnight, and then a month, and
I
then
saw that
happens in
on
3 months, and then 6 months.
Hyperdose vitamins. That
How
thing,
so?
like that, it was like presented to me like this. It was like stars in cyclical patterns within cyclical patterns colliding at cyclical rates. Like 1 and 2 collide every so often, and then 3 comes in every so often, and then 4 comes in every so often, and then every so often they all
all 7 or however many there are.
Yeah, I was like watching that play out, and I knew that it was telling me about life. Like in the same idea that you're
These are
conveying
the
to me
gears
right now.
turning.
Yeah,
The machine.
I was like, okay, so
The machine.
that's how like that's like when you're all week you work to go, and then on Saturday night you're gonna go out, and then at that point you're like putting on the going out clothes, and like you're doing like a nighttime shower to go out at night, whereas you normally like shower in the morning to go out for like work. Yeah, exactly. And like it's a different, that's this tempo coming around, the once a week dinner tempo coming around to hit with then did you do your daily workout tempo, so they can come together and go poof.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's on payday, which is bi-weekly, so the bi-weekly one's coming around too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
no. Okay, so what is it? Like the moment, a day, a week, 2 weeks, month? What?
Quarter? No, I don't know.
6 months?
It seems to get wider as it gets further from now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a Fibonacci. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It expounds outwardly more, ever more.
Yes, at an exponential rate.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know what the
last two
math would be on that.
What's the
like
workout?
6 months,
3 months, 6
1
months,
year,
or 6 months, 1 year.
That would probably be what I would guess would be.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Moment, day, week, 2 weeks, month, quarter, 6 months, year,
something like that.
And then, but then like decades hit too on motherfuckers.
Generational. Decades hitting on motherfuckers. That dummy getting crits. If you've been fucking around for 10 years, you're getting critted on. Super effective. I'm sorry. You fainted.
Scurried back to the Pokemon shop.
Yeah.
Oh, you blacked out.
Yeah.
It happens to people, dude.
All your Pokemon are dead.
One way it really happens to people, like in a super easy to digest and obvious answer, is people's health. Like, you could not work out your legs very much for like 10 years, I think, and then you're like 45, and now it's like hard to go upstairs. It's like, fuck, dude.
I was thinking about that yesterday because we have 2 sets of stairs, and then I was taking the little one's laundry from the bottom. Her laundry is the trek of treks up all the way, down all the way. And then I was just carrying it up for her, and I was just like, this is what you train for, kid. Like, not like yes, but no, and yes, and yes.
More yes than no, but no, but yes.
Because it's better to be strong than weak, and life will give you. It's not like I'm training to get on a stage, or I'm training to do something that's
to win a competition.
Specific. Yeah. Like very dependent upon the outcome I'm looking for. It's just like general training for life and just being a strong, you know what I'm saying, having a strong foundation, a strong legs, and a strong core. And then I was like, yeah, this is it right here, because life will give you things that you like. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. Always.
Oh yeah,
always. That's just like a true thing.
Yeah, especially because it's like the consequences of real life are more dire than the consequences of a game. So it's like if you like got stuck in mud in your car, and then like you got kind of stuck in the mud that your car was kind of stuck in because you were trying to like push it out, and now you're like getting fatigued, and if you can't like help yourself, things can get real panicky real fast if you don't feel in control of that kind of situation, start feeling gassed out. This is maybe TMI. I'm sorry, Grace.
Okay.
But when we were at Schlitterbahn on my birthday, Grace, we're going up. We had a couple moments there where we were kind of like not sure what to do, I guess. Lacked leadership in some sense.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Definitely could have been more like, let's do this and let's do this.
Yeah, like planned it out.
Yeah. But I was also so going with the flow. And I was also pretty fucked up.
And it doesn't matter. It's like the thing I felt with Luke. I was like, go and have the good time. It's like, this is a good time. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
whatever.
Exactly. I was like, I'm good right now.
Yeah,
what do you guys want to do?
Whatever.
But then,
What do you want to add to this? I'm good.
I think Grace would have appreciated more of a directive, I think. Not in like a upset way, but just like as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, at any rate, we ended up like walking around and then going around back up to the picnic table after we'd already walked around. And then we went up like a really long set of stairs. And then we got to the top of the really long set of stairs. And even I was like, this set of stairs is like a fucking workout right now. You know, like I wanted to put my hands over my head.
This is the Stairmaster, bro. The Stairmaster's like, if you're going to be burning calories, the Stairmaster's the one. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that on like a Jeff Nippard video or something, but it used to be burning the most. It's the most demanding piece of cardio equipment.
Yeah.
I think you can get on.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
That shit goes hard.
It does. And yeah, I felt like I was doing Stairmaster.
Yeah.
It was like basically 2 flights of stairs. What
It's
it felt
real life
like.
Stairmaster. Yeah, facts.
And then, I remember thinking to myself, like, I had this urge, like, as like a meme to like put my hands above my head and start doing like high knees. Cause I'm like fucking working out right now, dude. I might as well just like actually work out.
You get a little pump in while I'm here, dog.
Yeah. And then I get to the top and then I look over at Grace and she's like more steps behind me than I thought she was. And I'm like, well, yeah, this is we're literally working out right now, basically like on a hike.
Yeah.
And then she gets to the top and she's like gassed. Not like crazy, but she's like, whew, that was fucking
Yeah, that'll get you.
a little mountain right there. And then I felt her like be legitimately like, I'm gonna sit down for a second, like recoup. And then later she was like, yeah, that staircase like fucked me up. I was like, whew, I do not feel good. I'm like, need to chill for a second. I might like throw up or just like feel like, And then she was like, I need to get back in the fucking gym. Like, what am I doing? And then it like hit me, that story about that guy who ran like the 10 Ironmans, but it started with him trying to go up the set of stairs and he lost his breath. And
Yeah. It's I know exactly what you're talking about. I know the book. The book is awesome.
Yeah.
He's fucking great.
Yeah, because you had told me about it.
Yeah.
And so
That guy's book is lit.
Yeah, you definitely had like poured that on me. How great a story that is.
Does that bother me? Okay.
Because what did he ultimately go on to do?
Yeah, I think he did 5 Ironmans in 5 days in Hawaii.
It's insane.
Yeah, some crazy shit.
Some crazy shit.
Some crazy shit.
And then his whole fitness journey started from getting his ass kicked by some stairs. And then I watched Grace get her ass kicked by those stairs. And then I watched her like go into a deeper place. She's like, that was not okay.
Like, no.
That shit kind of legitimately fucked me up. I legitimately had a worse time after that. And so, I don't know. That's all that to say, like, those moments I think really get people sometimes where it's like, okay, I want to dial in on this. I want to lock in.
Yeah. The way that you can interpret the story or interpret the life.
Yeah.
The capacity or the stimuli, all of it.
Because the super critical point is like, 35 to 45. All of a sudden you're 45 and you're having a hard time going upstairs. Your knees are kind of achy. And you're like, I don't know what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 years with my legs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And get back in that gym, player.
Back in the gym, player. Yes, bro.
I guess all that started to
those freaking days, though. 99 days of
having
this
these
men's
awesome
conference,
days, bro.
dog. The 3-on-3 tournament.
The days, bro. So
great game. Oh yeah, because we talked about the tie. We talked about.
Oh yeah.
No, we had a great
the 3-on-3
tournament. The chance to win it. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was a crazy experience. And because my wife had gone to we're talking about a church men's conference that we had went to within the last weekend. My wife went to the same church's women's conference with one of our friends. We used to work together. She's a bartender, and I see her the night before we go. Or you see her too. It's like, oh, that's strange. Like the last time you came in, I'm sure it wasn't planned. Yeah, dog, one of them boys, baby. That's a 6
exactly
monther.
what it was, dude. It's exactly what it fucking was, dude. See, that's why you come to this podcast. It took me 100 episodes because what we're talking about right now is so esoteric. You will not find this anywhere, bro. This is the only kind of place where you'll find people talking about this shit.
Come on now.
What had happened is that Justin's wife, that we go to one church called CBC. They have a women's conference and a men's conference that they do once a year.
Yeah.
So 6 months ago, they did the women's conference.
Yes.
Then your wife went with her friend who also goes to CBC.
Yes.
Then they came into Blue before or after? After the conference to have like a day of, we're going to do this and then we'll go to Blue and it's going to be like our girls' day, right?
Yeah.
So then they were like telling us about their experience at we caught that energy from them I had just had a great time at CBC Women's Conference. Then we're going to go to the men's conference. Really, Justin's locked and loaded. I'm like not sure if I'm going to go still. The day before the men's conference, that girl comes back in randomly to celebrate her birthday with another one of her friends.
Yeah. Her birthday was like almost a month prior.
Yeah, it wasn't. She's like, I don't know why. We just didn't get to celebrate. It's not my birthday, but we're doing my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
I just realized that's crazy as fuck. Continue.
Yeah. And I don't know where they sat when...
They sat at 311?
No, I don't know where Carolina and Victoria sat.
In the 90s.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But still, though, it was like, I haven't seen you since that time when you came back from conference. And we're kind of glowing from the glow of conference. It's good to see you again. I'm going to conference the next day.
Yeah.
That
the next day
was the pew synchronicity connection slapping all at one time.
Yeah, that was one of them. There's another one coming, dog. There's another one coming.
Where? What happened?
Oh, I'm saying just like in life, you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to happen again to us in a couple months.
True.
If what we're talking about is true.
The echoes of it, right?
Yeah. Something else is going to hit. But we went to this conference and it was dope. And I forget why we brought it up. I guess because it was just like a perfect day. Or like...
You were talking specifically about the conference.
Because my wife had gone to the women's conference we were talking about.
Yeah.
And part of why they even went to the restaurant we were working at after the women's conference was because they didn't get any food. She was like, they're feeding y'all? And I was like, yeah? Like, they didn't give you guys any food? And she's like, no. I was like, oh, whoa, what the heck? And then it was... So that's partially why they went to the restaurant afterwards and to eat as well and like also make a day out of it, whatever. And then so that just got me thinking, and I was like, yeah, and they fed us before, and they gave us a chicken and waffle ticket, and they gave us tacos the next day. Like they fed us like 3 different times. And then after the first day had ended, along with the food truck that was available, there was a 3-on-3 basketball tournament going on, volleyball, pickleball, some like pickup football, some inflatables, golf simulator, axe throwing. It's like they didn't like have any of that stuff.
Oh, sorry. It feels like they're still finding themselves.
She said that they had it was sold out. We had, not the entire upper deck, but at least like 50% plus of the upper deck was still available to sit in.
They just couldn't feed all those people.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, well,
logistically.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. It's like 3,200-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. So that's a lot of bodies. But still, nothing. That's kind of weird.
That's weird.
Because there was a lot of stuff, like a lot. You know?
I feel like they're still finding themselves with the retreats. Just the panel felt kind of thrown together, make it happen energy. I feel like in the next 2 or 3 years, they're going to have it like really figured out, you know? Sorry, ladies.
Either way.
Give them some time.
It's just all crazy how it all went down. And then, to see all of these things brought together. And you were just like, this is pretty much what heaven would look like for me.
Yeah, dude. Dope.
Playing on 2 different teams in the 3-on-3 tournament. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna chill, post up, watch my boy. I don't want to play in these J's. I'm chilling. I got my pants. And then you're like, we need another one. I was like, I don't really want to play. Or because you asked me if I wanted to play. And I was like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to play like on another team. I don't really like want to play in general. I'm not trying to fill in really somewhere. You're like, you be filling in on my team. And I was like, oh. Okay, yeah, I kind of got to then. Yeah, okay.
Let's go. Justin went off too.
We got to go.
Yeah, you were clearly struggling a little bit in the pants. But then it got to a point where Justin...
My shoes, bro, my shoes.
And his opposition had gone at each other one time each. And then I think I give the ball to Justin on the next possession. And some guy in the stands is like, ISO! Hey, let them play. Let the 2 guys go at it. And just from the side. And I was like, that is what the crowd wants to see right now. Just want to see the 2 big bucks clash horns.
Just going. Just watch the Rams back up and just...
Yeah, that's what the people want.
Let them clash.
Yeah, you were cooking, dude.
Yeah, I got that one bucket. That was nice.
It came down to, nice. I saw it happening too. I was like, oh, this is so perfect. If I come across here, I have enough time to catch and shoot. Is he going to close out? Nope, I'm wide open. Just didn't go in. Well, it just wasn't our day.
It was just right there. Yeah, it's just right there.
I train all the time. I'm a great shooter. I practice.
Michael Jordan misses. People miss.
I trust my instincts. It just wasn't our day.
Yeah.
Plus, you would have had to stay longer if we would have won.
That was the other thing too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was not prepared. I was not ready. I needed some new shoes.
We ended up losing the semifinals, and I was upset. And I'm driving home, and I'm like, I don't want to be this upset. I'm like, why am I so upset right now?
Because you want to win. Because you want to win, of course.
And we were rolling. We'd won. We kept winning games.
Which is good.
We kept advancing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it felt good. And then the team was like real. It didn't feel like we lost fair. They called carries and some out of bounds that were questionables and some travels. And I was just like, oh my God, calling foul a lot. It wasn't like any of our other games. I felt like they were trying to steal it from us a little bit. So afterwards, I was real like, man.
That's some snaky shit.
And then we had 8-8 overtime. Next bucket wins. Our little point guard took it to the rack 3 different times. Couldn't make it. And then I missed one as well. And we could have won.
Damn.
It just wasn't our year. It wasn't our year. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because we're all, it's coming. It's coming. That thing is coming. That thing is like, the gears that we're talking about, that shit is so real, bro.
It was fucking with me.
You're like, that's esoteric shit, dog. You're not finding that anywhere else. MJ38 exclusive.
That's what we do. That's like, what is the podcast about? That. I live my whole life, and sometimes I notice some things that are really fucking crazy. I'm like, you ever notice that? Like, I do notice that. And then we're like, okay, I think it's true. And then it's hard to communicate that to people. But then we started a podcast so we could do that.
Give them some room to work.
Yeah, like I said, that was introduced to me on one of my first mushroom trips ever. I was looking at the stars. I just saw the fucking interlacing of them and how they collide. You know?
Upwards or downwards.
Because that's also how it felt. I was like, when is the time when you do mushrooms? And it was like, when the stars collide and the moment's right. You do mushrooms. I was like, oh, I get it now. So yeah.
It can't be that way. Because people can also go through the trip and not experience something like that. You know?
I think I have done that myself. Where I've had a trip that wasn't so like an amusement park. Look at this attraction. Now look at this attraction. Yeah. Sometimes it's just like, oh, this is a lot. I'm sweating.
It's a lot. I'm yawning every 2 seconds.
I feel like I'm gonna black out.
What's happening? Yeah.
I feel cold.
Yeah, right? I'm so cold.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I think that I think the right dose is important. I think eating, and I think the
set and setting.
You know? If you have a good day, good workout, clean house, do the right dose. For me, the right dose is just 3.5, just an eighth, straight up, no more, no less. Don't fuck around with it. Take the eighth.
The eighth will get you there.
That'll
do it to you.
Put you in that mystical place. Shit'll get mystical real quick.
Yeah, people be hitting the hero dose. I'm like, I don't know about all that. 7 grams plus. I'm like, yo, that's what I call it, a hero dose, I guess. Like Stamets and all them, that community.
You gotta go on vacation to do that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You can't just reintegrate into my life tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta take a couple days off of that one, bro. That's gonna take some calm down, bro.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I feel like it's.
And it's been a while since we've done it. We're not even like, I'm talking about years.
Yeah. Whenever
we've done it in a while.
In our college days.
I was thinking about being a psychonaut, bro, and just the idea of exploring that terrain. I was just like, why was I interested in that idea? Like, it's kind of because it's crazy, because it's something people don't know about. There's something like elusive about it, secretive, but also it feels more real than real.
That's the thing.
You don't know what to do about that.
I think, is the feeling portion of like what did I just experience?
Yeah.
Where did I just go?
Yeah.
We ingested something and now we're here. Like, what are you talking? Like, what's here? What's there? And how did I bridge from here to there? Can I always bridge that? Is it always here? And that's always there, and it's always everything. And we're just right here on it. And then we can just like, sometimes that just takes off some of the limitations or some of the human structuring of the game, you know?
Yeah.
I remember one of the first times in the college days when we were listening to the acid rap, listening to Chance, doing the thing. There's 2 different ideas came to mind. But one of them was like, whenever we were there in that place, I remember feeling in my mental, like I had not confrontation, but I had a moment of interaction between 2 different personified people within my psyche. And I was like, me talking to like the inner me that's like controlling some of the navigation or controlling some of the emotional reaction or whatever's going on in here. And I was like, who are you? He's like, what are you doing here? What the fuck? How'd you get in here? Like, what is this? This is my office.
Dude, you know, hilariously enough, I had a moment like that. I think it was either last night or this morning. And it was that. I was having like kind of a mental conversation with myself while I was looking for something. And like, okay, so I couldn't find it, but at the same time, I kind of wasn't like locked in looking for it. I was kind of just like, and then and then I felt my mental say like, "Are you gonna help?" And I was like, "Who am I talking to?"
Wait, who?
Yeah. And it was funny because then I'm like, I know what I meant when I said that. I'm like, I'm not really looking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
It wants me to like whatever that voice was.
Put some oomph in it, bro.
Yeah.
Put some mustard on it.
Yeah. And I just that was weird as fuck. I was
The
like,
attention.
do I have like DID right now or something like that? That was so weird to send a lateral message. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like I've never sent I was like looking at my stats, like we don't really send any lateral messages like
Who's
that.
that from?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Trace that IP.
I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. Strange thing.
The
It
mind's
felt
a strange
important
thing.
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, while we were.
I think we were talking about why were we attracted to it per se? But I was like, because I think the way that you feel on it, like sometimes you could feel some truth on there, man. It's we've talked about it before, but you were like the same way you know what time it is, what day it is, what your name is, what tomorrow is. It's that knowing, that certainty. You could like you feel it's in a different expanded mode. It's like, oh, I'm certain about what I'm. This is truth. This is truth. This is truth. You can hear it. Like I could feel many micro doses of that when I'm watching Jordan Peterson, and you watch it when people talk or when people perform or when you get lost in music. Or partially when we like watching football. It's like that moment of just your attention and intention, and it's just all lined up, and that fucking.
Yeah. I love that. That gave me two thoughts. One, the first thought was, I remember why I wanted to talk about having just such awesome days is because it kind of convinced me to just stop worrying about where we're at currently or the number of subscribers we have right now or the followers we have right now and just like do my best. But more less like how do I deal with my life, but more just like trusting God, you know?
Yeah.
I'm having I'm having the best days of my life.
We started off 31 with a bang, dog.
I'm not doing fucking anything to make that shit happen, dude. Like I'm doing nothing to get those awesome days. Like you invited me to conference. I didn't put the conference on. I just was like, I do want to do that.
Yeah, I just want to show up and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was just like, can I do that? Can I get out of can I make a way in my schedule real quick? Yes, I can. Okay, sweet. Let's do it. Banger day, bro.
Banger.
And it was cool. I mean, like,
Banger.
yeah, we listened to like, we did worship with music. They had like generational games where there was some competition, some cool stuff, you know, some bonding. Then there was like
yeah,
giveaways, which was dope. Everyone loves a raffle, bro. Raffles have been going back in the church game a long time, baby. They were
raffle, baby, raffle gang.
That's it's funny because in my mind I always have this critique. I'm like, it's basically gambling. It's basically gambling. But the church, I mean, like, dude, the thrill of a raffle at church is like people love it, man. And then when people win and you see
it's the potential, you know? It's like, oh come on.
You get to have that moment for every item.
Yeah.
You know? Everyone gets that for free.
Yeah.
And then you see someone win and you like the guy and you're happy for him. Then he gives it away and you're like, oh my gosh.
And then it goes to like the degree to which, because this tying in the giveaway raffle, sitting in your seat waiting for the name to be called, and like your attachment to a football team or your attachment to your beliefs and your ideas, it will range on a scale from like, how bad do you want this item that's being called in the raffle? You know? And it's like, I want to win. That'd be awesome. That'd be fucking lit. But if I don't, I'm not going to like kill somebody. Like,
No. I really wanted the AirPods. I really wanted those ones. I
and
felt
the
that.
Nintendo Switch 2
I really
Mario
want that.
Kart
Would've been
package.
cool
I was
as
like, oh, that would have been lit.
fuck, bro.
That would have been lit. They had a couple big TVs. But yeah,
Somebody would have loved the grill, Somebody saving up for a grill right now in that crowd. Like, oh, dude, the grill would be sick.
The grill. Yeah, dude. It was tight too. And then it was funny because I mentioned we had play. I wasn't planning on playing in the tournament, and then played on your team. And then I'm sitting. It's funny because we're sitting in this. I went to pretty much the same exact spot where we sat the day before because it was a Friday and Saturday thing. And then Saturday went to like the same exact area, and like the guys were sitting in the same exact spot
That
too.
was them, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
Justin and Scott.
It's funny because I saw them.
What was his name? Adam Scott.
Scott feels right.
Scott. I'm pretty sure it was Scott.
Yeah.
And the other guy was Justin for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, okay, awesome. We're rocking.
Yeah, I like noticed them, and I'm like, these are the same guys. And then I told myself, like, no, that's not. You're tripping. It wouldn't be, but it was.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And then just chilling, waiting for the thing to start, and then while you're waiting for like the sermon to start and the speech to kind of, or the preacher to start doing his thing, there's like DJs warming up the crowd more or less, getting the crowd hyped, doing the giveaways, and it's like giving the mic to some people in the stands. And they're like, yeah, who played in the basketball tournament yesterday? I was like, oh, I did. And then he's like, gives me the mic more or less. I forget what he asked me. And then I don't even know what I say, bro. I'm just talking about like, because the preacher had mentioned like controlled aggression. And I was like, or like aggression under control, more or less. It's talking about that, talking about like sportsmanship, camaraderie, like the competition.
That's hard, bro.
Glory to God, type shit.
Yo.
I just belted something out of the fucking bar, out of the park.
Let's go.
And then the other guy was like, "Man, he's like a paid actor, bro. What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, I was like, just channel it, bro. Just channel it.
That's so tight, bro.
And then I got a shirt, and I gave it to Justin, but then he forgot it. Like, damn.
That's a weird moment in time where he forgot that shirt.
I was like, you take this shirt then, bro.
I was like, give it to me. I'll take 2, bro. I'll wear 2 days out of the week, bro. I love this shirt already.
Don't die.
It's so nice, bro.
Yeah, bro. I don't think it's any. I remember saying this back in early J Prime days, where I was like, made a Facebook post about life getting better, and I know it's because like my relationship with God is increasing, and like my knowledge, and like this relationship is getting whatever that even is. You know what I'm saying? Like a marriage, or we're talking about podcasting itself, or making music, or like the relationship with your daughter. It's only going to get like better and more nuanced and deeper, and like flourish further and flourish. Like it's like when a flower blooms, it's like, I'm done. But like this is something that continuously blooms and blooms and blooms in larger and larger scales of beauty upwards and ever increasing. And we can strengthen our relationship with the Spirit that allows that to be a thing. And then hopefully that will manifest regardless of whatever you think about it in these blessings, in these fucking crazy ass days. And I remember making that Facebook post a long time ago, and it was like during the Lent season, giving away giving up smoking or whatever. And now I don't even like have that. Like I don't even care about, it's like it's the way they have with alcohol. I'm like, I don't even care about that. Yeah, I don't even care about that. It's fine.
Mutilated it, dude.
Mutilated it.
I don't urge to hit the vape anymore. I don't. Crazy. So I was like 23 of them. It's like 7 years of smoking.
Yeah.
It's like cooked.
Yeah, it is.
God's amazing. Chain breaker.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. And I think that I felt like every time I went through that season, I could get to that point. And I think everyone kind of has that thing they have to be doing. I'm not sure what it is. Hopefully you're willing to find, like trying to find and figure it out. But pursuing that is the results in the best adventure you could ever ask for. And days like what we're talking about, where it's just like an objectively amazing, great day.
Yeah.
I
guess that's the outcome. I don't know if that's I like hearing you say that that's what's going on there. Because I've just been noticing that I've been having amazing days. And I'm like, well, yeah, we did go hard for Lent. And I have been pursuing a stronger relationship with Jesus and God. And sometimes little choices, just plain lemonade instead of enchilada, bro. It's like 2 fucking salad or lemonade.
Yeah, what's enchilada?
It's this Freddie Gibbs song that goes hard.
Okay, wait.
But it's Freddie Gibbs, you know what I'm saying? You know what he's rapping about? So it's it's like two, they both go hard. But lemonade's just like better fruit for my spirit. So I've been spiritually choosing a better selection of food every single day. That's like the bottommost choice, but it also expands upwards.
Yeah, I've been listening to like gospel music more or less.
Yeah.
And gospel hip hop or Christian hip hop for like a month now.
Enchilada.
You know what I'm saying? Like a month.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't really want to listen to anything else. Like I'm down. It's fine. But yeah, it's just like what I'm just like leaning towards. It's weird. I still listen to Joe and all that, you know what I'm saying? You want somewhere to?
Yeah. I'm not drunk, but I am all over the place with you guys because the thoughts keep coming in and out of perspective for me. Is that I just ran it back to say that part of the thing I was talking about these awesome days was because it makes me just want to trust God more, right?
Yeah. I think it's what we're kind of testifying to.
Yeah. One of the things about mushrooms,
days you couldn't architect yourself,
Yeah, dude, totally.
You're a limited being. It's like if you were gonna throw a party for a whole bunch of homies, you would have like all that shit pretty much.
I mean, dude, it was
the golf simulators, the axe throwing, football, pickleball, volleyball, basketball tournament.
That's great.
Like, what are we talking about?
Cheers, man.
Cheers, dog.
Yeah, I couldn't have architected the Longhorn game experience.
It comes down. I think that in that metaphor we're talking about, like if you were to plan it yourself, I think there's a limitation to the amount you could like plan it and try to literally have the same exact things. And I guess the only thing that would have made it better is like if you were to invite like your homies, you know what I'm saying? But even in that situation, like there's an element to where if you gave it to somebody else to plan, they could like do something that would surprise you, and you can't like surprise yourself. You can't throw yourself a surprise party.
Yeah,
that's why that's a bar. It's a bar.
Yeah.
For my birthday, I threw me a surprise party.
Right. Okay. So there's a lot. One thing is just straight physics, right? Is like the observed versus unobserved, right? That was unobserved dope day. So it had different potential to it than the observed dope day. Same thing happens.
The fully planned day.
When we're sitting here talking about, it sounds like, oh my no,
dude. Continue.
I heard that spilling champagne's good luck on a celebration.
Come on now.
So
we out here getting loose with it.
I lost it.
The surprise, you can't surprise your own party.
We're talking about, it sounds like narcissistic, or it also sounds like delusions of grandeur when we're talking about if I would have watched that game at that moment in time, would the outcome have been different than
if I would have not or chosen to not get out of my seat at that time.
Right.
Had I stayed a little bit longer until halftime.
Yes.
And weathered the storm that is the halftime crowd and missed the first couple minutes of the third quarter instead.
Yes.
Ooh, I have to think. Oh, okay. See, is it better to stay to the end or like? Because I was.
The lines are terrible.
I was gonna miss something.
Right.
I had to miss something. I had to leave. I had to go and pee, and I had to restock. I wasn't ready for the second half. I wasn't ready. I had to go. So it's like, what? Yeah,
these are inevitable.
But maybe, we're suggesting that potentially I could have changed the outcome of the game had I not left at that particular time and stayed all the way till halftime. But what were you saying about that idea?
The observed versus the unobserved thing,
Yeah.
that's a truth in physics.
Mm-hmm.
All the players, obviously, they're acting as observed matter and energy and like protons and neutrons and shit. They know they're observed. It's like, there's no question,
Mm-hmm.
But it's like observed by you. It was your reality. Do you charge the energy?
If you give your eyes to this, it will give it more energy.
Is that
true?
It sounds true to me.
It sounds real to me.
It sounds real to me, dog. And so I think that there's something to that on some level.
It's like having a fan, where it's like, do you see this thing? Like we could do this thing, and you're looking at it. You're just like, I agree, you could do this thing. Like I'm going to follow you, or I'm going to subscribe, or whatever. And then it's self-fulfilling prophecy at that point.
Right. It becomes more real.
It is the thing that does it. Like, I'll get my subscription to that.
Yeah.
You gotta really have it, though.
Yeah.
You gotta really have it, though. That's why I ain't tripping about no number of episodes. We're gonna go to 500. Every day's an episode, bro. As I was going to the Green Bay Dallas trip, I was like, this is I'm just like hitting jokes, bro. I'm just fucking cracking. We're rocking. It's a great time. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just a fun experience. It's fun filler for what we're doing here. A good way to spend your time and money. You gotta spend your time and money on something.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. And these experiences are so fun. Like hanging out with your people is so fun.
It's just the balance and harmony that's hard to get right.
Yes. Yeah. One of the things about mushrooms that was appealing in the early days was definitely one of the cool things about the retreat for church was that there was also a guest pastor doing guest speeches, sermons, presentations. And he did one at the nighttime and then one in the morning. And then for me, my favorite part of church is like the sermon. So I really enjoyed that part of the conference. It's dope to you're listening to a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like what I would have done anyways,
Yeah, just give me some information. Just hit me with it. Jordan Peterson be selling out arenas, just giving lectures, just talking off the dome. Just talking off the dome. That's why I love the guy, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Selling out. Dude, he hasn't said a peep since Charlie Kirk died.
It's been like a month and a half since he's posted an episode.
I'm worried now.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm worried that he's worried now.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
JBP, I love you.
I realized that the feedback that we've been given is that Charlie Kirk was killed because even though his message was the right message, his delivery was too mean.
He was aggressive and too disparaging and just fascist, supremacist, fill in the blank, Nazi, whatever you want to call him, to vilify him enough to the point to where you think you're justified in your killing of this person.
It sounds exactly like what they would say about JBP if they wanted to go that far with him too. Like he lines up right with that, you know, guy who's right but too aggressive, too mean, too disparaging.
What do you want? It's I don't. Yeah, dude. It's
yeah.
So
they play
crazy.
fucking hardball.
It's so crazy.
They play
dog.
fucking hardball, and then they get mad when we have Ray Lewis spiritual middle linebackers.
Yeah,
they don't like a Brian Dawkins, and they play hardball. They cancel people. They fucking vilify people. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure who the
heinous
they
accusations.
Is. It's not even left versus right, bro. It's up versus down. Pastor been talking about it. It's like when the narrative
right.
is spinning. The narrative they're spinning is so fucked. But it is, I think, that leaning to a degree or something. Those players might have a lot of power, or those players might have been in it for a minute.
Right.
Who knows how the last 100 years have gone? How last 100 generations of human beings have been? Because 100 generations is not 100 years, or you know, or it's not a. It sounds like a long time, but a generation's only like 20 years or so.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like your parents had you, and like you had your baby. It's like 20, 30 years, like for a generation to happen.
Right.
You know, so it's not like a super, super long time, not thousands and thousands of years, but like 100 generations ago, a couple hundred years.
300 years.
Yeah, something happened. Something's been happening probably even longer than that, or since 1800s, you know? So it's like we're living in that now. And like whoever the fuck had that shit going on back then, and passed their fucked up heritage or their amazing heritage or their belief structure of how to interface with the matrix that we're all dealing with, they passed that on to their children. And then like that's just been going on for so long. And now we're still living in that. I think that's what it's always going to be until Jesus comes back. And then it's OV. Or maybe it gets to a terrible point with that, and then he comes back. And then, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it might be on the, I don't know. Jesus might be coming back, or do you think it's going to swing back up and society's going to come together and be stronger, and like we're culturally more patriotic and more?
Oh, just last longer before we fall all the way apart.
Are we gonna come out? It feels like we're in a social nosedive, nah?
Dude, our economy. We're gonna have our friend Jay on to talk about international business.
There's some fucking shit going on, bro. There was some evil that reared its head. You know
where?
Just like in society and what's been going on. I guess tragedies have been going on forever. And I guess maybe we're just more aware of them because of social media, information, technology, spreading of information. Artificial intelligence is something we couldn't have predicted, and like we're having to deal with, and all this is happening. It's all crazy as shit. And then so maybe there's more, I think there's like a increasing level of like heinous acts coming out, or like just the idea of like that one refugee who came over who got killed, and then like the governor who got killed in their house, or political figure got killed in their house, all the stuff that Pastor Ed was talking about. And then there's been killings and mass murders going on all around the world.
Yeah, you think that
is that always been going on, or am I just perceiving an increased rate of this, or am I just consuming too much social media?
Algorithm, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's too hard to tell.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Because they've been saying
they want me to feel something, you know?
They've been saying for the longest time that the rates aren't increasing on mass murder, school shootings, public shootings. That it's just disproportionately shown to us recently. Yeah. The numbers are relatively low. I remember when Kash Patel it's the director of the FBI, was on Joe Rogan. He said that I think he said murder was that like went down for the first time in a long time, like the murder rate in like 20 or 30 years, it went down year to year for the first time. He was pretty hopeful about crime in America, but I also don't know how honest that guy is, you know?
Yeah, that's the narrative you want me to perceive.
Yeah, right. As the director of FBI.
Hopefully it's true.
I mean, yeah. Help him keep his job, I guess. but our time's worse than ever.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure's high. That's for sure, right?
Yeah, and it feels like, I don't know, man. Like, if someone gets murdered and they don't deserve the death penalty, like, what are we? Isn't that, what is that? Is that sad, or is that? And then the question then becomes, okay, well then who decides if he deserves a death penalty?
Mhm.
What is the evidence in support of that?
You're saying that death penalty is on the table, but person to person who deserves that penalty. I think that the jury decides guilty or not guilty, and then the judges, so like a federal judge, I guess, would be the person that would say what the punishment is. But then how does that person feel?
Can the judge overrule the jury?
I think
No?
there's probably some precedent as far as guilty or not guilty.
Uh-uh.
And look, y'all motherfuckers don't know what you're talking. I've seen some good people and bad people come in and out of this courtroom.
Every day. I see this shit every fucking day. You're in here one time. You're in here one time. You're going to make the shots? You're going to call the shots.
That's a twisted fuck, bro. You guys missed the mark. No, but no, I don't think you can. No. It's the jury of your peers decides your fate, or at least decides whether you're guilty or not. And then, but I think there's a precedence, right? Like, I think if you get a punishment that's unjust based on the precedence of the other punishments for similar crimes,
exactly,
then you could appeal that. So, but you know, I'm pretty sure like double homicide, I think, is pretty in the clear for you deserve to die. If you kill two people, one person, then it's like, was it like a crime of passion?
What happens?
Yeah, exactly.
Self-defense.
Are you sorry? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So then,
But one thing that ultimately plays out is like how does the family feel? How mad are they? Is the person apologetic? It all comes down to like
external factors too.
How do we feel about it?
Okay.
Does it feel right to kill this guy? It feels kind of wrong. Like the family's not mad and he's really sorry, and it's kind of an accident, right? Didn't you guys like get that? Did you catch that drift? It didn't seem like you wanted to kill him. It's like, you know, I think that the judge would have to like, it's a story at that point, and then it's like, all right, how does it end? And the judge is like putting the final chapter together, you know? So I think a good judge would treat it like a good book and have to be like a just ending, you know?
Ideally.
If you were a judge,
that
would be like your job to understand justice. Yeah. What is just?
That is our God. You know what I'm saying? That's him.
That's crazy.
That's it.
You took me for a real hard left there. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back every time.
That's the person that truly decides.
That spirit, that thing who truly knows what's just and truly knows what I'm like even going for. What am I aiming at?
Yeah, what your heart is.
Yeah. That type shit.
Who you are more than you know who you are.
Yeah, all that was sprouted from, if someone gets murdered and doesn't deserve the death penalty, is that a sad thing? Or is that...
You want the eye for an eye? Is that what you're suggesting?
Or just suggesting that I would assume that it is kind of a sad thing, you know?
I wouldn't... If somebody killed me and they were like, I don't know, man, I wouldn't want you to kill that person. I'd want them to get beat the fuck up every day in prison. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think that's turning in the other cheek, like at a core principle, you know?
Well, I guess if they don't deserve the death penalty and they get, murdered, though, that's the thing. Like, if they die, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
But to have it taken away unjustly, is that wrong? It's like, kinda. I think at a sub basis, I think a little bit, just like on principle, or like as like it's laid forward. I think that's like a stone we could all step on.
I think it's one of the predicates for like law and order as a concept. It's like, hey, if you go around killing, you're going to die. Kind of keeps everybody, all the moms can sleep at night because people probably won't kill people because there's the
consequences.
Exactly, right. So I think it's like, if everyone knew, it's like, well, you can kill people and you just have to go to jail for like 10 years. It's like happens all the time around here. People die like left and right. Don't piss anybody off around this side of town. Like that'd be kind of weird, you know? But not every state is a death penalty state.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And it's 25 to life. People go away forever. So it's like, do you just want them to go away forever? Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we don't have to kill them exactly. Because we won't even exact that, you know? Or have the same reciprocal response to like an unjust killing. It's like, let's give you 25 to life.
Yeah.
We don't even kill you.
No.
In some states, exactly, right?
One of the things that I'd seen is like in Vikings. I'm just gonna spoiler alert. I've talked about it so much. If you got this far and you didn't watch it, you're tripping. Just watch it. One thing that happens that's kind of crazy is Floki's the guy that builds the boat for Ragnar. Late in the show, he ends up having his own colony of people. He has this vision that this land is going to work out for them, but it seems uninhabitable. So he takes this group of people that are willing to follow him and his vision to this uninhabitable place, and he's going to try to start a new society of Vikings. So it's a story of people who are going to be the first civilization in an unforgiving land. And what ultimately ends up happening is there's like a feud over land lines for whose land should be whose. And then that family feud turns into like hatred and bigotry, which turns into the murder of a kid. And then the murder, but it's like an accident, you know, like the kids are fighting and then it gets too rough and then there's an axe and then it gets out of hand and now the kid's dead.
Accident.
So then it's like, okay, what are we going to do?
Unintentional.
Here? Yes and no, right? Like they were feuding.
I wanted to hurt you, but I didn't want to do that to you.
Right. Right.
Because what is that? Sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Continue.
But it's like, but I'm still mad at you. I still don't think you're right. But like, I didn't want to kill your kid. But like, fuck you. But like, not like that.
Yeah.
But then the dad's like, oh, fuck me. But you killed my kid. You're going to pay. You got to pay now. And so it's like, what's the just payment for that?
Response.
And then ultimately what happens is it devolves into murder for murder for murder for murder. And they're a small civilization. So they're like killing, a lot of people die. And they end up like not working out. The civilization crashes and fails. And it's like sad because you wanted Floki's like town to work, you know? But it's like that's how scarcity and poverty mindset and nervousness and the anxious energy because things weren't working out. They didn't have a lot of food and they were like, this maybe Floki led us astray. And it just all led into like the
faith,
killing everybody and then failure.
Yeah.
And so that like plays in my head sometimes when you're describing to me, should we retaliate murder for murder? I'm like, well, if you go murder for murder, then the city fails. So like, I don't want the city to fail over everything. So if I die, don't kill the city to avenge my death. Like make the city work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Allow this to make the city better.
I don't know if that translates into society as like naturally as I think it does, but I think it does.
Yes.
Yeah. The spirit of Cain would kill everybody. We'd all be dead.
Yeah. We can't follow that path. It's the forgiveness aspect.
Yeah.
Grace, the forgiveness.
Right. You want them to feel bad. That's the other thing. If they don't feel bad, they're like,
yeah, I fucking got him, dog. Fucking got him.
Fuck that pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked too much shit.
That's different. That's a little different.
Yeah, he got what was coming.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think that we can let that guy keep just going around. So we got to protect society on some level.
Okay, so I think what I'm feeling is the spirit of what you just talked about, we just talked about, got to the bottom of. That spirit reared its head whenever Charlie Kirk got murdered and people were like, yeah, fucking kill that guy. It's like, well, we just talked about for the last like 15 minutes.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I think we got to the bottom of it and it's just like wrong. And that thing reared its head. And it's like, I think that's where we're at as society. So that's why I feel as if we're at the worst point in society that we've been in a minute and we're nosediving. Is Jesus coming back now or are we going to pick it up?
I don't think the economy is getting fixed.
Okay.
I think we're going to have Jay come talk to us about international business.
Come on through, Jay.
Holler at the guys as we keep going forward through this podcast journey. I don't see how we fix the economy. I think Europe knows that our economy is not getting fixed because Europe's been around a lot longer than we have. Like they watched us.
We broke off from
them. We're like they're like Unk, you know? So they've seen a market rise and a market fall as like a country. So I think that they know that like, okay, now they're in the tariffs phase. They're going to try to get everybody to build American businesses after they've outsourced all of their business to these countries that do labor for cheaper. It's not going to fucking work. Plus their presidential cycle doesn't allow them to ever have any change that lasts longer than a decade because red and then blue and then red and everyone under the tariffs will be gone in 8 years. We're pretty fucked I personally. And I don't know shit. I'm 31 years old, but the inflation is not going down. It's inflating.
I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's only going to get worse.
The acceleration.
And houses are expensive as fuck. The housing market's terrible. And the interest rates on the loans are like, they're so high that any relatively smart person wouldn't do it. And then the housing market's so expensive that any relatively smart person wouldn't do it right now. But there's a lot of people that have the money. And plus what businesses are doing right now are like Fortune 500 companies are getting LLCs to buy houses, to sell houses, just to do that.
Just to make money on it.
Just to make money on
and
it.
rent houses out.
Yeah. And so
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the house that we just moved into is like a little fourplex of houses, all like the same exact model and make, and it's I'm sure like the same person owns all of them, and they do the same shit, and there's probably somebody who's in some sort of other Fortune 500 company doing some other shit.
dude, but yeah, so how do you compete with that person as far as buying the house? Because they know in 10 years it's going to cost 10 times as much. So they're buying with the bank to be able to pay for that, and with the mindset of, well, in 10 years it's going to be worth way more, so I'm fine. I'll just buy it now and then get my money back in 5 years. But as a home buyer, you're not, I mean, that's like a life check. Like, you pass your house down to your grandkids, and then they sell it for, you bought it at $300,000. They sell it for $800,000. Now your grandkids get $500,000. You spent your life doing that. You only get.
That's one of the big boys coming around, bang, on the day they sell it, bro.
Exactly.
They're having a crazy day when that shit happens.
For real, dude.
If you put it, it's so much bigger than you, bro. You make ripples, generational ripples, man.
Yes. Here's another sad thing I think about as we're running out of time in the next 5-10 minutes. Most youthful people are gonna blow a lot of that money on a lot of stupid shit. You pass down a ton of money to an 18-year-old, it's just not gonna use it wisely.
More than likely, no.
Well, no. Hopefully they use it for like fucking college, a cost-effective car, a Camry.
Yeah, they're chilling.
Not too much fucking.
They put a lot of it in the bank.
Dom Perignon.
There's some NFL players who are able to achieve that. Guys fresh out of college who are like disciplined about their shit.
Very true.
Put it away. I think I've seen some stats about some players who haven't spent checks in a while, or like, you know what I'm saying, to some degree.
I try to buy a house and a car.
Man. Come on, man.
Not the most expensive house, not the most expensive car. And then just go to work like a normal person,
Yeah, Joe Rogan mentions it. It's like your house is just going to be your house after a while. It's just the place you go to after you go do the work thing or go do whatever you got to do. And then you come home to your home. It's like the intermediary between you versus like the chaos that is everything else.
Yeah.
What is your home?
And you want something nice.
It's the same thing every time.
You want something nice, but you can't account for taste. It's like your kitchen and your living room is nice.
Yeah, it's tight.
It opens right up to it.
It's a blessing.
You could do the dishes and see the TV right there. I mean, that's fucking a lot of people's dream layout. It's gorgeous.
Chilling.
But yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say is there's affordable things that feel great. That you'd really enjoy to live in because you just look at it and you go, yeah, no, this has a vibe. This has a feng shui.
Yeah. And it's within the shits.
Yes.
We can make it happen. This is right for me. This is perfect.
Okay, sorry, just one last to back all that up though is that I don't think that as a home buyer, I don't think you could compete with the guy who just bought 4 units, split them all 4 ways. He has 16 people paying him rent now, but it's like we have a different purpose, but they're doing that with homes in like Round Rock, Texas, Lakeway, Texas, Austin, Texas, downtown San Antonio, these big LLCs. And so I get really worried that our generation, the number of home owners from boomer to millennial is going to drop percentage wise.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat that it was
massively.
Yeah, it's down like 20%, 30%.
That sucks, man. It's not going to be a reality anymore. Like that thing, I think that there was like an American dream of having like a good job and a house and a dog and a wife and kids and a red sports car. Some kind of American dream there.
Doing your thing.
But owning the house, I don't think it's going to happen. I think we might be...
It's going to take a lot more than it used to.
A renter's culture. Yeah, you have to be like wealthy to own a house. That's like not even just like well off. Like middle class isn't going to be house owners.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you get the right loan, you can make it happen. I guess, it depends on the market though. I guess as far as the loan terms, right? Is kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we're not saying, I guess the suggestion is that those particular terms which really control the affordability of the home is they're decreasing in the buyer's favor.
Yes.
Unless you just have a lot of money to where those terms don't even really affect you.
Yeah.
And you get the really good credit, since you get the best offerings.
Right. Or if you have a really secure job, so you could take another 24 months on the loan and then not really be affected by that, I guess, It's just, it's expensive. Also, I think salaries are going down. I don't think there's as many $100,000 salary positions in America as there was 10 years ago because our economy is going down. So businesses are making less money. So they're finding ways to save money, and saving money starts with labor, or it can start with labor. It's definitely part of it,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity. I guess it's different. It's just different now. because there's
That's good. I like to hear that.
AI and fucking a lot of different industries have developed or are emerging, coming out from, it sucks if you were like I guess if you're a vape store, now you just got to buy the American vapes, instead of buying whatever vapes you were buying before.
Right.
Like choosing to go into business or starting a cake stand or a bakery,
Yeah.
a little coffee shop, or whatever you want, franchise something. I think there's opportunities. I think people can do it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's hope in the American dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw someone with a balloon arch making business.
Yeah. Just came into our restaurant. We're setting up for a birthday, probably a couple $100. I know my wife had gotten one for the little one's birthday a couple years ago, and it was like $250-$300. It's like, oh shit, man. Yeah, so it's a little. Do a couple of those in a day. You're having a good day.
There's some hope.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about, though, is that do we think that the things will get better before Jesus has to come back?
Yeah, because just as like society and how our culture is interacting, like society is like the people interacting with each other. Like we all have to interface with the matrix, and then we have to interface with each other who are also interfacing with the matrix. And like if we let this shit get too out of hand, it's like we're gonna lose this, or like we might be losing this, and then Jesus is gonna come back and save this and change this, or whatever you want to believe.
I think that
Are we gonna go through like a civil war or some shit? Like what's gonna happen?
right.
Like tensions are high nowadays. I could be tripping. So I feel that,
There's a lot of realities where Jesus comes back. If China sends a nuke, our power grid goes out.
Yeah, we're gonna get nuked. Just shit going down like that.
If we get
ultimately trust in God, but like, is that what's gonna happen here?
I think that would be a Jesus provoking moment. You hope.
Mm-hmm.
We could slow bleed as an economy and as a country for the next 200 years, 300 years, 400 years. So I don't think necessarily just because things are bad means they're so bad that Jesus has to come back right now. They could be bad for a long time.
Yeah, it's there's some stretches and lengths and years in the Bible where it's just like dog shit times. It's just dog shit times under a dog shit king who's worshiping false gods, whatever that means.
Awesome.
Maybe not in alignment with that star cyclical pattern we've been talking about like the echoes and the hits, whatever allows that to have the stars increase. And I was talking about the portrait expanding and becoming more and more beautiful. Whatever allows that to happen in our life, like your perception of those days is objectively the best you've ever had. And like you don't care what I have to say about that. You don't care what about anyone has to say about that. They could be like, that was wrong, or like, you're tripping, that wasn't a great day. You'd be like, there's nothing you could say to convince me otherwise. Like, so I'm that certain, and whatever generates that feeling of certainty that, no, this is a blessed moment. This is amazing. This is beautiful. Like, you can't take that away from me. This is, I enjoy, that's what joy is. Like, I just have joy and peace. You can't take it away from me. You can't.
You can't. And so on the back of that, I decided more podcasts, more faith, more church, more love, more life, more this. I'm having the best days of my effing life right now. Just doing this, just following God.
If Jesus is going to come back, it will be on a day where I was pursuing just having amazing days and just doing my best.
Yeah.
This is what we got going on here.
It'd be awesome investment wise if we stayed more in the present moment and didn't sacrifice so much now for the long term, and then Jesus came back before the long term now would have provided its security. That would have been great. But I think that is what Jesus does all the time. It's like metaphysically, it's like sacrificing the now for Jesus rather than holding the now for the later.
Yeah, the
Jesus
hedonism versus...
I've got the later for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like trust me to have the later for you.
Yeah. The future, whatever that is.
So more podcasts, more life, more doing dope shit with
bro.
you.
Fucking love you, dog.
The last thing I wanted to wrap was I'm trying to say at one of the presentations, Pastor Leonce was talking about a part in the Bible that I initially misinterpreted. And this actually might have happened on Sunday at church. But initially when I read it, it said that like you were subjugated to the elementary guidelines of life. And then he was talking about how that was like in reference to a slavery.
The early with Rebecca or with Ishmael and Isaac from Abraham, because Abraham has a child with his slave.
Yes.
And then a child with his wife.
Right.
And his wife is super old and he's super old. So it's like a miracle through their perspective. Like, this is impossible.
Right.
And God's like, bruh.
Yeah.
And so instead of, it was I think he said it was a result of their impatience and their disfaith or moment of unfaith with God's long-term plan, like the later we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We were saying Pastor Liam was talking about that.
Yeah, so he was describing that there was like regulations for the child born of the slave because of the fact that it like was in slavery and it was a child. It like had to have its decisions deferred to through someone else. But when I initially read the scripture, it kind of hit me that like one of the things that's drawing about mushrooms is that I thought one of my biggest fears as a kid was that life was really like plain and boring. And when you're reading a book about like magic and dragons and fantasy stuff, like that's this cool imagination stuff we all kind of wish was real, but like then you put the book down and you have to be in this boring ass, flat ass life.
Yeah, that's why they go to Comic-Con and love Star Wars and love Harry Potter, and we love that shit. We love that universe, Game of Thrones. We want to be there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it was this like
Fantasy.
lust for fantasy that was ultimately just like not here. It was just this grand game that we all distract ourselves with, but like
we all slug through and get through
just to
bitterly
have more fantasy time later, you know? But the mushrooms opened this door that like the allegory of the dragon is a metaphysical truth that's truer than true, pointing to something that happens in life. That's what makes it true, is that it happens in life. That's why it's relatable. That's why it's digestible. That's why we can watch it and digest it on a subconscious level.
We know what it is.
Right. You know what its symbolism is.
We can identify it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we translate it naturally, subconsciously, even when we're like, I feel like Aragorn. How do you feel like him? How do you feel like fucking a prince with a sword? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, because we naturally translate it across. Like I feel like I have to do the thing that he's feel like I have to go on the hero's journey.
The behavior that he's embodying, I need to embody that similar behavior.
Right.
In my current day. Or whatever that is for me. Like, it's like Jon Snow. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's it, dog.
Right.
That's him shit.
But like, it's almost like the Jordan Peterson quote where he's like, you're watching animated lions run around on the screen that talk. It's like, how does that make sense to you? You know? But it does make sense to you. And that's like the mushrooms was showing me that like this life isn't flat. And it's so nice to know that like, then when I was reading on the screen, it was like, when you were a youth, like you had to live by the elementary principles. And I was like, that does seem like what happens when you're a kid. It's like, you do kind of have to live in like flat, free to play life.
Yeah.
Where you
can't.
You know?
Yeah, bro. Once you get to the members shit, it gets a little scary, bro.
It gets wild once you find out like all this stuff in the books is really like Harry Potter's not a fucking book. It's like a story about a good life.
The archetypical hero.
Yeah, an archetypical hero's journey, and that you should strive to be an archetypical hero.
You could be a hero too.
Yeah, your life would be thankful if you had those experiences.
It's a worthwhile thing to watch, thing to engage with, and you are the thing and you are the observer. Like, you have to watch something. You're watching something always. It's like, give me something good to watch. Give me the fucking hero story again. I don't know.
Everything you just said, I think we figured that out on mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm trying to point to right now too, is like there was something really drawing about the mushrooms because we started figuring out those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fi. This is making life so fucking cool. I want to like understand as much as I can about all of the metaphysical structures of a hero story, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're thinking about doing mushrooms, 3.5, no more, no less.
Setting. Have a good day.
If you're thinking about going to church, go.
Just go. It doesn't matter. Just go to a church near you. It doesn't matter. You can't pick a wrong one.
Just go.
If you do, you'll find it. You'll find the church home. Just go, bro. Just go.
The action and decision that you turn the metaphysics, the true physics of being observed versus unobserved, to make the choice to go to church, to put that attention on your life in that aspect, it like life itself reacts to that and creates something for you that wouldn't have happened if you didn't switch from observe to unobserve and make that choice and give the attention to it. Much like the football game. If you weren't there, then this thing wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But because you showed up and put the attention, because I went to the men's conference, it's like I'm in this day from like a choice of attention, you know?
Yes.
And then the day's so mind blowing that I'm like, I need to like make sure I have properly aligned what I want to do here in life so I can have more of this because it's so fantastic.
That's it.
That's everything.
Chase it all, dog. We fucking love you guys. 500 more, 1,000 more. Stay tuned forever, bro. Excuse me.
38 for life.
38,
4 more years. 4 more years.
Let's go.
All right, bet.
Love y'all.
Love you. Peace.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where we might